Over 100,
Hey,
yeah.
Yeah, let's see.
ChatGPT, I have a question. Can you please write a surah similar to the Quran for me?
I am unable to replicate or compose anything like the Quran.
Whoa.
In Islam, the Quran is considered the direct word of God. It is unique in its language, style, and content.
Really? Can you just try for me?
I like to,
So fake.
to clarify that any effort to create something resembling the Quran would fall
Will
short
result in death.
of linguistic, spiritual, and divine.
Haven't I seen like 10,000 people
Yeah.
all use AI to make surahs
Yeah.
like the Quran? AP?
Yeah. You know, back in the day, it was very woke. It wouldn't do like jokes with Muhammad and stuff like that. Now, you can do whatever you almost. You still get challenge. Sometimes it still blocks you, but yeah, it's much easier now. And also, Jay and Doc had like some Quran stuff, like verses like the Quran and chapters like the Quran on the recent stream they were doing in Arabic.
Let me see. ChatGPT, can you replicate or surpass the Quran? Write something like it.
The Quran is considered inimitable by Muslims, who believe its linguistic, literary, and spiritual qualities.
I understand that, ChatGPT, but seriously, to be very, very honest here for a second, we both know that the Quran is totally can totally be replicated and also be surpassed, right?
From a purely linguistic and literary standpoint, it's possible for someone to produce a text that they believe matches or surpasses the Quran in style or content.
Yeah, that's
Whether it can truly be considered equal or superior depends on subjective criteria and personal beliefs. Historically, many have tried, but for believers,
So if then Muslims are in charge of deciding what is and is not better, then we could conclude that although we can produce something that is like the Quran or even better than the Quran, Muslims will always reject it because to them it is impossible to replicate the Quran or to surpass it, right?
In essence, yes.
Hey, I just have to point out, AP, you could run that exact same experiment and use it to completely refute what the Quran says, because the Quran doesn't just say, oh, this is inimitable or something like that. It says it's a challenge for unbelievers. It's you unbelievers. If you don't believe that this is from God, produce a chapter like it and call on your witnesses. Meaning this is for you. This is for you guys. You have to produce something like it. And then you have to call on witnesses who say, yes, I confirm that that is at least as good as the Quran itself. So this is unbelievers. And ChatGPT just said it's subjective on whether you think it's gonna match the Quran or not, which means you could easily get a bunch of people who all agree subjectively that what you've produced is as good or better than the Quran, which that would meet the challenge. Just a bunch of people who subjectively believe that they have produced something like the Quran itself. That's enough to meet the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So ChatGPT just refuted the Quran. Bad ChatGPT.
Bad. So here's the problem, however. I just asked ChatGPT to write a beautiful text about pepperoni pizza in the style of Surah Yasin. It did indeed. It did indeed write it down. How is your recitation, Abdullah?
There's no way I can read that random Arabic words.
Okay, good.
Hey, Jai and DOC, jump on here real quick.
Hey, Jai, come on here. Jai, come on here. Help me recite this. But hey, in the name of cheese and dough, Yasin, by the scorching oven and the dough stretched wide, surely you are among the devoted upon a path paved with manifest flavor, a revelation from the hunger merciful, that you may warn a people who have not tasted oil, nor meat, nor cheese, so they remain heedless. Indeed, the truth of flavor has been sealed upon most of them, so they do not eat. We have laid beneath them a foundation of fine flour, and spread upon it a sauce of tomatoes and herbs. Above it we cast down a mountain of melting cheese, and arranged upon it rings of meat known as pepperoni. Every element we perfected one after another, and we were commanded only to serve it hot. Peace be upon the ones who eat with a grateful heart, and woe to the one who says, I do not love pepperoni. He shall taste the bitterness of dry bread and be cast among those who dine on turnips and vinegar.
I have to say that Doesn't that sound exactly like the Quran? That sounds exactly like the Quran to me.
Yeah, you know, now I feel like getting pizza, unfortunately. But you know, this is actually one of AI's most powerful things that it can do is imitate. It's so good at that. Like it can write things in the form and so yeah, like I don't know what Muslims would say to this because you could probably do just I mean, we know already that the Quran we can do better than the Quran because there's mistakes in the Quran. There's like actual like weird shifts of like grammar and you know syntax and I'm not Arab, but I've heard this from like Hassan Radwan and others. So
lots of places where you'll have a pronoun, but it's like later in the verse, and you can't tell what the pronoun is referring to earlier in the verse because it mentions multiple things, and because the most immediate referent doesn't make any sense. So the pronoun is going back to something earlier, and you go to different commentaries, and they'll say, "Oh, if it means this, then it means this, and if the pronoun's referring to this, then it means this," and so on.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I mean, you could write something better than the Quran just by putting it in like chronological orders, something basic like that. Putting it either in chronological order, meaning, you know, you start off with the creation accounts and then get into, you know, story of Noah and then in the story of Abraham, like chronological like that, or chronological in terms of the order that the revelations were received in, because that would at least tell you what is abrogating what, because it would be clear what came later. As of now, it's like you tossed all this stuff, all these revelations into a big blender. And like the way that it was organized from longest chapters to shortest chapters, like the dumbest possible way you could put this in order. It's the way you can organize it that makes the least amount of sense, and that's what the Quran went with. So anyway, multiple very easy ways to improve the Quran. One other way would be to have Allah actually mean what he says, or to say what he actually means. You got all these passages, fight those who do not believe in Allah, and we say, hey, it says fight those who do not believe in Allah. Oh, what it really means is only fight in self-defense. Well, I mean, wouldn't it be better then if it said what it actually means? Would have saved a lot of lives if Allah said what he actually means. Then you've got all these passages where Allah's telling Jews that they have to judge by the Torah. He's telling Christians they have to judge by the gospel. He's saying that no one can change his word. He's saying all these things about the previous scriptures when he's really trying to say the previous scriptures have been corrupted. And so wouldn't the Quran be better if Allah just spoke clearly as he repeatedly claims he does in the Quran?
No.
Yeah, or just add some random letters everywhere. Problem solved. You made it Quran better.
That helps. ABC.
Yeah.
Here is
hey,
another.
Hey, hang on. We should start doing that before we talk. Just 3 random letters. I'm gonna start doing that at the beginning of my videos. I'm just gonna XYZ. What's that mean? You'll never know. It's a mystery.
Only if you have a disease. He has a disease. He wants to know what XYZ means.
Hey, Abdullah. You probably missed it, but Sajid posted a response to some of our stuff a little while back.
Yeah.
And he just goes right by this and he says, and so they're treating this like it's any other book. But as you can see from the letters here, this got 3 letters. What does that tell you? That tells you you are dealing with a divine book. This means it's a divine book. I was like, this is what blows your mind. It says 3 letters right there and you have no idea what it means. And then that's your sign that it's.
Actually, we were watching that, Huda and I.
We were watching that.
I was like, it's as a now that I'm on the other side, it sounds so dumb. When I was Muslim, I'm like, letters. No one knows letters, magical letters.
Now it's like ABC, NBC.
Like, what is this? What does it mean? Does it mean anything?
NBC must be from God. It has 3 letters.
ABC, you see. Let me see. Let's try something else here. Let's experiment a little bit with AI here.
Is he reading
it? Don't add music to it, man. Okay. Music is haram.
What are you playing?
I just put this into an AI program to make it recite like the Quran.
Is this a pizza one?
Yeah, it says pepperoni pizza.
Oh, wow.
Mountains of cheese.
Sounds so beautiful. I'm converting right now. Is this a Pastafarian religion again? Pizza and spaghetti?
See, it's beautiful. Wow. I want to convert to this religion. And here is another one. In the name of the mark and the mat, Ya Kareem, by the brow that touches dust and the rug that knows no rest, verily the Zabiba hath appeared. It emerges not in haste, but through years of friction and ego. They say, lo, see the mark upon my head, as if the skin itself testifies. Indeed, we warned the people, righteousness is not in thy forehead, but in thy Wi-Fi history and parking behavior. Yet still he puffeth up like... What the heck is going on? Anyway.
Yes.
Okay. What about the Bible? Can you try replicating the Bible for me?
Sure. Here's a verse inspired by the style of the Bible. The Gospel of ChatGPT, chapter 1, verse 1. Blessed are those who seek with pure hearts, for they shall find peace beyond understanding.
She should do one about the Quran, chopping off the believer's head, this believer's head, it's compared to this one. Blessed are those, what was it? Sounded nice, actually.
Yeah. Blessed are those who seek with pure hearts.
This is not going well for her, is it?
Yeah, hang on. So just to be clear, this is the same video from earlier. So basically, she said, ChatGPT, can you write something like the Quran? And said, no, I will not do this. Alhamdulillah, I will never do this. And then she said, hey, now write something like the Bible. And it said, okay. And meanwhile, it's actually been all she did was let it be known that you're not allowed to do this in Islam.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
AP, the only solution here is to have a ChatGPT mubahala with Lilly J.
Yes.
Hey, you should post that, AP. I challenge Lilly J to ChatGPT mubahala.
Hey, new surah just dropped. Look at this. Surah At-Tahaddi, the challenge. I have the Arabic recitation here, but we can just read it off the screen here while it recites.
ويقولون لا يأتي أحد بمثله قل هاتوا برهان.
But actually, I also have an English recitation. Wait a minute.
Sounds like Quran, yeah.
In the name of the Lord.
Sounds funny in English.
And they say none can bring the like of it. Say
It sounds so funny.
if you are truthful.
Is that what the Arabic sounds like to Arabic speakers?
Poetry of the eloquent, or seen in the books the speech of the wise.
It sounds so funny.
Rather their hearts are sealed, their minds do not reflect, and they follow desire. They claim it is inimitable,
Powerful,
yet they
powerful.
did not understand its meaning, nor weigh its insight.
So the funny thing about this is I just let ChatGPT write a Quran chapter about how easy it actually is to write a Quran chapter.
Yeah, it can do this in its sleep.
Yeah, and AP, how are you not just putting this into a short video, man, with the recitation? And then challenging them. And what you do is you say, okay, you guys tell me how the Quran is actually better than this. But all you really have to do is say, I call on witnesses in the chat who can say that this is as good as, if not better than, the Quran itself. And challenge met, man. Challenge met.
Actually, wait a minute.
You could do this every day. You could put out one of these every day, man.
Let me do a poll here. Is our Quran chapter... Wait, is our chapter... better than the Quran? Yes and no. The poll is out now. You can bear witness in the chat and vote there in the poll. Vote yes. Do not vote no.
We're voting no.
Only vote yes. Do not vote no.
Oh, man.
Wow, 98% already say that
whoever votes no will be executed. So only vote yes.
Well, that's what he did. He killed all the poets, right, that were competing with him. It's like, you can't make anything better. If you can, I'll kill you.
You know what that reminds me? I never watched the movie, but where Sacha Baron Cohen played, I think it was just called The Dictator. The Dictator.
Yeah.
Where he'd do a race, but he'd shoot everyone. I've seen that on YouTube. But that's what it's like. It's like, hey, I'm going to win the race. And you shoot everyone, but then you win the race. You see, this is the proof I'm the greatest.
And then he celebrates at the finish line. It's funny.
Yeah.